If there's one thing that Final Fantasy games have been known for a very long time, it has been for pushing the standards of technology. Even the much maligned Final Fantasy XIII was a stunning game as accomplished in its graphical design as it was lacking in just about everything else. So it should come as no surprise to anybody that the upcoming Final Fantasy XV looks stunning too. After all, that is part of the series' DNA. Square Enix for their part are very confident in just how good the game will look. So confident that game director Hajime Tabata believes that Final Fantasy XV will legitimately be the best looking open world game on the market. Especially when it comes to Final Fantasy, a lot of times our consumers are expecting exceptional graphics, Tabata said to Game Informer. In comparison to other titles, open worlds, when you look at the screenshots, their graphical quality won't be on par. We set out to overcome that barrier, to ensure that we're using the technology that will enable us to overcome that stigma. It's hard to define what cutting edge is when it comes to games. Right now, we say Final Fantasy XV is developed with the latest cutting edge technology, but if we move a little forward in time, the latest technology differs. So from a developer's standpoint, it doesn't make sense to define what is the latest. The way I approached it was asking what would be important to make consumers feel like this is a modern RPG built with high-end technology, and what needs to be done to make them feel that way. So far, everything we've seen of Final Fantasy XV definitely seems to back up Tabata's confidence, though the game could stand with being optimized for better performance and frame rates. In a world where The Witcher 3 exists, Final Fantasy XV being the best-looking open-world game is definitely a stunning achievement. The Mass Effect games may have tried to make the journey uniquely yours, with everything in the titles adjusting itself in response to your actions and your agency, but there is still help by having an extraordinarily strong lead. Commander Shepard is legendary, and he's definitely one of the most iconic gaming heroes of all time. So Mass Effect Andromeda, the follow-up to the original trilogy, definitely has its task cut out for it, in trying to have a new protagonist who can fill in Shepard's rather large shoes. Thankfully, according to a new tease made on Twitter by BioWare's Ian S. Fraser, their new main character is unique and fresh, which means he should definitely stand out from Shepard and manage to step out of his shadow a bit. Of course, Shepard's story was also helped by some extremely strong, well-defined enemies and antagonists. The Reapers, yes, but also all the other creatures that Shepard must face and take down in the course of the Mass Effect trilogy stood out and provided a credible threat that kept players invested. The new enemies, no matter what they are, need to be similarly strong too. Thankfully, BioWare's Fabrice Condominis posted on Twitter this week noting that the new enemies would definitely enrich Mass Effect Andromeda's storytelling. It seems like Mass Effect Andromeda is coming together well then, all said and done. That's good. When it launches next year, it will have 5 years worth of pent-up expectations to live up to after all. EA have announced a brand new game set in the Star Wars universe by none other than Respawn Entertainment, the guys who brought us Titanfall and are currently also hard at work on Titanfall 2. And you know, a game that we never knew we wanted, but now that we know exists, can't wait for already. Dishonored 2 is set to be featured as Game Informer's cover story for June. A new video cropped up on Game Informer's website recently featuring Arcane's Harvey Smith and Dinka Bakabo. A helpful NeoGAF user compiled this new information with everything we know so far about the game. In terms of the technology being used, Dishonored 2 is set to use a modified version of id Tech 5 called the Void Engine. This is to be expected on account of ZeniMax's acquisition of id in 2009. Very few recent titles have made use of id Tech 5. Wolfenstein: The New Order, however, offered up a fantastic 60 FPS experience. In terms of the setting, the Mediterranean environment seen in the initial trailer will be where most of the action is, Corvo's birthplace, Karnaca. Perhaps the biggest gameplay change here is the option to play as Emily Kaldwin. The game is set 15 years after the original, and players can opt to play as either Emily or as an older Corvo. Emily has a different skill set. While we're not quite sure how this will pan out, a Syndicate-style Jacob-Evie divide is not unthinkable. Besides, having a playable female lead is fantastic. Guard AI is set to receive a major overhaul. Guards will now be able to follow you over scalable objects. This meshes with Dishonored 2's greater focus on verticality. Lastly, Dishonored 2 is set to feature neutral areas, where the player can interact with NPCs to uncover clues. In the previous game, guards were unequivocally hostile no matter where you were at a level, so neutral areas will likely offer a welcome change of pace from time to time.
We hope you've enjoyed this video, so please consider subscribing to our channel. We do original content, reviews, graphics comparison, and much more, and try to upload a video every day. Thank you very much for checking us out.